welcome back to Crunchtime, Season 12. This is Episode 2. I'm Sarah Reinhart. This is Will West, and this is Clayton Carroll. Today we've got a lot of updates with all of our spring season APSU sports, but mainly we want to focus on the announcement of Jordan Harmon as our athletic director. This official announcement was made on February 13th after he held this interim position since August 2025. How are you guys feeling about this?
Love to see it. Jordan Harmon, the Austin Peay grad, played baseball here. As you mentioned, did a phenomenal job of filling the interim role. And you just see him at all the basketball games, all the football, the softball, like everywhere you go, you see Jordan Harmon. Just, you can really tell he has a heart for Austin Peay. He knows the lay of the land here in Stashville, and you just love to see Jordan Harmon get the official athletic director job now.
Yeah, when you talking about Jordan Harmon, man, you know, it's hometown guy. He played baseball here. He was a pitcher here. So obviously he knows the lay of the land. He graduated from here. And look at what our sports is doing, too. Basketball is really good. Football is going to be really good this year. You know, we got our outside sports, beach volleyball, soccer, and things like that. But he has done a really phenomenal job as an interim and now as our 15th, director of athletics.
100%. Yeah. Baseball, softball,
softball,
you name it.
Everything.
The Govs are good.
Everything.
Are there things about the interim position that he did that y'all would like to see carried over or that you think would help the new position? What do y'all think?
I mean, honestly, just if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man.
Before, Chris Parson is coming back, y'all.
Yeah,
that's obviously the athletic director's got a part in that.
Yeah, he does.
So, he has just done a great job of really embodying the Austin Peay spirit. So, no, there's really not much to change, I wouldn't say.
Absolutely.
Maybe get us some swag. Maybe
get
some swag.
I need another polo. I need another polo, man. I need another polo.
Well, then let's just dive right in with men's basketball. This week they had a big win against Queens with a score of 95-87. Colin Parker getting 39 of those points himself. This is one of the highest individual scoring nights in recent program history. This performance helped extend the Govs on a multi-game winning streak and maintain a strong conference position. They also had a strong win with Bellarmine.
Yeah,
I think I say it wrong every time, and I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's all good.
They got that win with a 90-70. They sit at the top of the ASUN standings now and are just one game away from the 5th undefeated home record in program history. So what are y'all thinking about these games, y'all? How are we feeling about them?
Where do we start?
Where do we start?
Where do we start? The Govs are just taking names.
Yeah.
What do you say about Austin Peay? Colin Parker, Zyree Collins, Rashad Marshall. You name it. This Austin Peay team is stacked. You mentioned Colin Parker, 39 points the other night against Queens. He scored 20-plus points in 6 games in a row. That's the first time, not only in recent history, but in just Govs history, modern Austin Peay history. And I'm not talking 20, 30 years. We're talking 70, 80 years. Colin Parker is one incredible athlete for Austin Peay. He was the player of the week this past week. Yes. Zyree Collins, again, what do you say about him? There's so much you could go.
So
his
much.
Speed, his shiftiness, his willing to pass the rock around, broke the assist record, 14 assists. The Govs are just talented. They are well coached, as you see the graphic there. First double-double for Zyree, 16 points, 14 assists, 11-11 from the free throw line.
Perfect.
Set the freshman assist record here at Austin Peay. One freshman of the week in the ASUN. It's the talent, but it's also the discipline. Head coach Corey Gibson has done a phenomenal job here at Austin Peay, building, as you mentioned earlier, in either the preview or just off the air, the what did you say? The brotherhood
of Austin Peay. That's where it starts, man. When you go to these press conferences after the game, Coach Gibson always talks about the brotherhood among his players. And even when Zyree has a good night, Colin has a good night, they're always mentioning their teammates, how their teammates set them up. But yeah, as you saw the graphic there, Zyree Collins, 16 points, 14 assists, breaking the freshman assist record, 11-11 from free throws. That's a lot of free throws, and that's a lot of points that could definitely hurt or gain, hurt or gain from you. But when you talk about this Govs men's basketball team, when you talk about them, they have nothing, no flaws. When you talk about their defense, you can talk about their shooting, you can talk about their discipline, how they dive after loose ball, their effort. Mm-hmm. The effort is a big thing. When you talk about effort, going after loose balls, creating fouls, getting to the free throw line, as you saw Zyree. There's nothing really else you can talk about this men's basketball team as we go into March and, ASUN tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of on that, what do you guys think contributes to Colin Parker's scoring streak recently? Is it the team? Is it just skill?
I think it's all of the above.
I think it's both.
I think it's both.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Colin Parker, yes, he is so talented, but his teammates, they feed him the rock.
Yeah.
They want to see him score, and Parker is more than equipped to do that. So it's really just all of the above, honestly. I guess you would agree, Will, as well.
Yeah. It's a little bit of both. As you see on these highlights here. I mean, look at the razzle-dazzle from Zyree, man. He's working hard to get down low into the hole. And as you saw from the highlights, the bench for Corey Gibson is giving a lot of good minutes. Guys like Jacory Robinson, Bryce Terrain. I know Anton Brookshire has had a good month. But when you talk about the Govs and Colin Parker, man, like I said earlier, off air, whatever you want to call it, a lot of Dirk Nowitzki-esque. Dirk Nowitzki-esque. Corey Gibson is good at getting Colin Parker in his spots. It could be on the block. It could be, on the wing. He likes to start from the wing sometimes and drive down, use his strength, and use his post-up game. The only thing he doesn't have is the post phase that Dirk used to use now. But a lot of Dirk Nowitzki in his play. The Govs men's basketball team is a force to be reckoned with. I can't wait to see what they bring in the tournament.
And I think of that Lipscomb game a couple weeks ago. We had the pregame show here on APSU-TV, and Austin Peay ended up winning that game to really solidify that top spot in the ASUN.
Man.
But
tennis record broken.
Yes, and then it got broken
again against North
Saturday.
Alabama. Yeah.
But with the thing with Colin Parker is Lipscomb, the Bisons, they were double teaming him. They triple teamed him at one point, and still he was either able to just score on him or kick it out and find an open shot.
Find an open shot. And when go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just gonna ask.
I was gonna say this.
Go ahead.
When they triple team them, somebody's always open, man.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's always open.
That's math.
Yeah, it is math.
10-10, and I know that.
That's elementary math, dude. If three people on one person, somebody's reckoning to be open, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is. But
Yeah, and what do y'all think the team needs to do in preparation for this championship in the upcoming ASUN tournament?
Nothing.
I mean, yeah.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like you said, like Clayton
just
said
don't
earlier.
touch it.
Yeah, like Clayton said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it,
Yeah.
man.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
As you said, the discipline is there. They always treat teams like they have a 0-0 record. That's what Coach Gibson said in the press conference. They always treat teams like a 0-0 record. So they play teams like when they beat North Alabama, they said, hey, even though Colin dropped, I think he dropped 32 that night or 29 or something like that.
I think he had 27.
I think he had
it was close.
It was close. It was close.
He scores so many, we lose track of the number.
we do lose track. But like you said, like what they said, Coach Gibson said, hey, man, what do we call teams every time? Either we go to them, they come to us. They have a 0-0 record. So the discipline is always there for the team.
Yeah, I want to hit on the press conferences for 1 second. It was actually the North Al game, maybe the Lipscomb one. Not only did you have Rashad Marshall, Zyree, Colin, Coach Gibbs, not only were those in the press conference room, you saw the entire team come and stand behind those four at the press conference table. That just really just goes to show how this team loves each other and just the brotherhood they have, because that is, like you hate to say it, that is rare in college basketball today with NIL, with all the Lamborghinis and the NIL deals and the whatever you want to call it. That is rare. The Dodge Chargers, whatever you want to call it. That is rare. But this team, like you can tell, they are a very special team. They're very well bonded together.
No, for sure. I know Coach Gibson makes them, do some outside activities as a team.
Yeah.
Like I said, the brotherhood among those teammates. Like I said earlier, man. When Colin has a game like he had against, what was it, Queens, when he had 39? Pick one of the last six. He's averaging 30 the last 6 games. So he always mentions his teammates. He mentions his coaches, how they get him in his spots. Coach Gibson mentioned his assistant coaches, his offensive coordinator, how he's able to get him in his spots and how he's able to utilize that bench. That's my big thing with this team. Utilizing Jacory Robinson, utilizing Bryce Terrain. Creighton Marshall is giving them good minutes on the defensive side of things. So when you talk about the men's team, man, and what they need to do when they go into the tournament, I mean, just nothing. They don't need to keep doing. Just stay on the same track. Don't change anything. Don't fiddle with anything. Just keep the same formula, and you will have success.
Don't change. Don't fiddle. Don't faddle.
Don't
goes by 50.
Goes by 50. Yeah, so we had a big week for men's basketball. Shift over to the girls now, who had a big win of their own against Queens with a score of 85-47. The ladies, Janiyah Newell scored 15, and the Govs got double-figure scoring from 4 different players. And then we had a tough loss to West Georgia. Anovia Shields led with 23 points and added 6 rebounds and 5 assists. But the Govs unfortunately fell 95-74. What are y'all? Did y'all see these games? What are we feeling?
That's Clayton, man. That's Clayton's ballpark,
There you go,
man.
Clayton.
That's Clayton.
Dylan Walton and I, we broadcast women's basketball on WAPX FM. Tune in. 91.9, letsgop.com. What else you doing? Tune in. Okay. Anyway, there's the plug for today.
Little promotion.
What?
A little promotion.
Yeah,
a little
a
promotion.
little promotion. But the Queens game, you mentioned just pure domination. It really was good for Austin Peay to kind of get that monkey off their back. It was the Govs' first home win of the season in the ASUN Conference. The Govs had only won 3 prior home games. So that was a good win for the Govs to kind of get a little confidence back. Janiyah Newell, 5 of 7 from 3, 15 points, double-digit scoring from 4 players. 2 Govs had 9. Just a total team effort in the Queens game. But the West Georgia game, like Austin Peay, they really didn't play bad. I know they lost by 21. But an obvious Shields, like you mentioned, 23 points. Jemiah Branton had 19. It was just West Georgia was able to score at will, which is rare because this Govs team prides themselves on defense, as you see some of the highlights on your screen. But this is a very defensive-based team, but West Georgia, just their talent and their ability to shoot really prevailed on Saturday on Valentine's Day. West Georgia shot 13 of 22 from 3, 33 of 50 from the field. Just insane numbers on a Saturday on Valentine's Day. I guess all their players got broke up with or something. They all went off. I don't know. I don't know what happened on Valentine's
They were
Day.
all
But
head in the game.
I don't. West Georgia, they whatever they did was working. The Govs had a lot of turnovers too, which that's never going to help.
Turnovers always hurt you.
Just that West Georgia game, it was tough just because head coach Brittany Young prides herself on defense, and this team does too. They have one of the top defenses in the ASUN. It was just on Saturday. West Georgia, half their shots were contested. Just the Wolves just shot the lights out of the ball.
Yeah, when you talk about this Govs women's basketball team, man, the effort is always there. Always there when you talk about Coach Brittany Young. The effort is always there. Now, we're missing Miami, had Freshman of the Week honors again. Third time this season. So you're getting good, minutes and good play from her, and you're getting good minutes from Anovia Shields, as you said, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Janiyah Newell had a good day against, was it against Queens? She had 15, or was it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Against Queens, she had 15, but I know she only scored 7 against West Georgia. So, yeah, that kind of picks off of that. But, we need some contributions from other players. My bad. I'm sorry. But we need some contributions from other players. Maya Williams, Inez Unore, Lamaria Thomas was, one of the best offensive rebounders in the ASUN, and we need her to get back, back on the glass. But I think they can pull it together towards the end of the season.
100%. It doesn't matter what you do in February, January, December, November.
As long as you finish strong.
Yeah.
As long as you finish strong.
What you do in March. With players like Anovia and Janiyah, with their standout performances in these past few games, how do you think their contributions shape the team identity?
I would say Anovia is your just
bread and butter.
Mrs. Reliable, I
Bread
guess
and
you could
butter.
say. You know you're
Bread
going to
and
get 10 to 20 from her about every night.
Oh, yeah.
She may pop off and give you 25, 30. I mean, you know she is preseason All-ASUN, on the preseason All-ASUN team, 6th woman of the year last year. You know what you're going to get out of Anovia Shields. Janiyah Newell, sharpshooter. Hit up 30-plus foot buzzer beater against Queens at halftime. Made me and Dylan Walton lose our minds. I mean, it was a great call.
It was.
But, and then you've got Jemiah Branton. She's kind of the engine that gets the offense going. Her speed, her ability to kick, just as a freshman too, just really incredible talent Miami has. But honestly, I just say, Anovia Shields, just kind of your glue. You're going to get stuff out of her.
Yeah.
Janiyah can shoot, and then Jemiah, just her speed is something else.
Yeah, when you talk about, the identity of this team, obviously Brittany Young prides defense, and the team does too. But also, you're getting good minutes out of Miami. You're getting good minutes out of Maya, even though she has a knee brace on, dealing with a little injury there. Yeah. But she's playing through it. You know what I'm saying? You can always apply when teammates play through injuries. But when you talk about Jemiah, and you talk about freshmen in general, like she's a freshman doing this. So is Zyree. Zyree's a freshman. So. Back to the women's, back to the topic at hand. When you talk about women's basketball, they just got to make shots in the fourth quarter, man. Yeah. I mean, there's no other way you can put it. I mean, obviously, West Georgia had like you said, they must have had gone through some breakups that day. It was Valentine's Day, and they,
had a rough Valentine's.
Or the opposite. They
were ready to get out. But like you said, what did you say? They made 13 of 22 threes.
13 of 22, 33 of 50 overall.
And then you said half of those shots are contested. Yeah. So they just made shots. I mean, you can't play no other better defense. I mean, you can foul them, but that one.
Then we're getting 3 free throws.
Then they're getting 3 free throws, but no. Yeah. But I believe their identity is defense. Yeah. Obviously, they have to do better at making shots in the fourth quarter. But I think they will prevail and do that.
Yeah, kind of along with that, looking towards the rest of the ASUN play, what adjustments or strategies do you think they need to change in order to finish strong with the season?
I would say just get your confidence back, I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
say.
your
Just
confidence.
if you can go, Austin Peay plays, depending on when you're watching this, if this comes out Wednesday, we play tonight at Central Arkansas. If you're watching this tomorrow, we played yesterday. But that's just how math works, guys. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But Austin Peay plays Central Arkansas, and then Bellarmine comes to F&M Bank Arena Saturday. No shade to Bellarmine, but Bellarmine just had kind of a tough season. 2 wins, winless in the ASUN. So
Yeah.
if you can go, especially 2-0, just to get that confidence back,
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the biggest things for this women's basketball team.
Oh yeah, when you talk about confidence, man, I mean they're always good on the road. They started off 10-0. I mean losing to was it Central Alabama, North Alabama, and
EKU.
Only by 7, and EKU is a top team in the conference. So if you talk about that, you're only losing by 2 or 3 possessions. And they're the best on the road. They were the best on the road, but they're 10-2 on the road now. So they come back home, Bellarmine. If you at least you can split the series while you're away, at least 1-1 or 2-0. That'd be even better. But when you come back home to Bellarmine, you face them. Obviously, you said they're not having the greatest season, so I wouldn't say that's a pick-me win. Anybody can be beat.
Oh, exactly.
But I would say that we have a strong chance of beating Bellarmine this Saturday. I will be in attendance, so I feel like they would. They should be able to get through. At least split the series. 2-0 would be better. But if they can split the series 2-0 would be huge. But if they split the series or go 2-0 and then come back home and get another win, I feel like they'll be good for March.
Because then it sets up. Then the next week you play you play EKU on Wednesday at home.
Yeah.
Again, that's senior day for Austin Peay, the final home game at least.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big one.
That's
and then
huge.
Friday, you travel to Lipscomb, just an hour down the road in Nashville. Me and Dylan Walton get to go together for that game. So tune in, okay?
Tune in, man.
But, Austin Peay, if you can go, I'm going to say if you can go 2-0 this week and split EKU and Lipscomb,
Oh, yeah.
I think you got to like where you're at.
Oh, yeah, you got to lock where you're at.
So as basketball season is pushing towards conference play, softball has just now started to get into their season. Got a few updates. Softball had a victory at the Carl Vincent Insurance Invitational. Kylie Hinton had a career day on day 2 with 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. The Govs swept day 2 with a 5-4 win versus Lamar and McNeese in a 7-5 score. By McNeese. And they finished the Invitational 2-3 and are now 5-5 as they head to Texas next weekend. What do you guys think clicked for the team offensively this past weekend, and how will that set the tone for ASUN play?
They always get the bats hot. Softball last year, I watched a couple of games. I went to a couple of games. Softball last year always gets the bats hot. Bree Howard, you got Sammy Sheelander, you got Kylie Hinton having a career day, 7 RBIs, 2 home runs. I mean, they always find a way to get the bat hot. Now, I do have a little, there's a little shaky in the pitching problems. I think Cameron Grayson gave up, 7 runs against Lamar.
Yeah.
And, you only score 1 run against Lamar. You got to pitch better. I mean, there's no other way to put it around it. But yes, they can always get the bats hot, and excel from that.
I think too, it's just honestly the season's just started, y'all. Baseball is one of those sports. This is softball, excuse me. Baseball, they're similar.
They're similar.
Yeah, similar premise behind them.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just one of those things where, the season is starting to go. It's one of those things the bats are going to be hot some days, the bats are not going to be hot some days. But it's just, like I said, just the team's starting to kind of get their rhythm. They're getting flowing. But this Govs team has all the potential in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
and with that big, solid weekend, this starting weekend, how do you think players like Kylie, Bree, and Katie can push the team to a win or wins next week?
Oh yeah, they just got to keep the bats hot, man. I mean, you got to keep the bats hot. Now, I got to do a little deep dive on who we face in Texas, but they're really good at hitting breaking balls and fastballs. And what that means in baseball/softball terminology is breaking ball, as in curve balls. You got your sliders. You got 12-6 curves. So they're really good at hitting breaking balls, and they're really good at hitting right-handed pitchers. So when you look at this softball team, Kylie having that career day, 7 RBIs. I think that was against a right-handed pitcher. I'm not sure, but I have to go back and look. But yeah, as long as they keep the bats hot, you got to fix the pitching problems. Keep the other teams from scoring. You don't have to score a perfect game, but at least at least you can allow 1 to 2 runs to score. But other than that, as long as they fix their pitching problems, I think they'll be okay. They can always get the bats hot.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Bree Howard, if you just look at some of her accolades, first team All ASUN last year, 3rd team All ASUN in her freshman season. She was on the All Freshman team her freshman year. And, 54 out of 55 starts her sophomore year. Second on the team in runs, hits, triples, total bases, and batting average. She's a phenomenal softball player.
Phenomenal.
So it's going to get going.
It's gonna get going, especially when you start with her and then you start with Kylie. I know Sammy Sheelander. She's a great base hitter / extra base hitter. So I think they can get the bats hot, especially when they go to Texas. And like I said, just fix the pitching problems. I think they'll be okay.
Everything's bigger in Texas. Maybe that's the run total.
Maybe that's the run total. Maybe that.
Yeah, so big weekend for softball, starting off with their season, but we've also kicked off the baseball season. They just opened their 87th season with a 4-game series scheduled at UNLV. A good start with the most road games in program history. Appleby made his first career start on the mound, matched his single-game high of 6 strikeouts over 4 innings of work. The Govs scored 5 runs in the top of the 9th in the season opener, but fell short 9-8. How do you think this top-level talent in the baseball team will face during the non-conference season?
Yeah, I'll just be honest. I am, we went 2-2. I am not worried about this Govs baseball team at all. I'll just be honest. I don't really have any worries. We got to go to their media day. Just you can tell they kind of have a brotherhood as well. Kind of like we were talking about the men's basketball team. And they're just so talented. And head coach Roland Fanning, just a top-notch baseball coach. You can tell he really pours his heart into Austin Peay. Also, his favorite pregame meal is Noodles and Company.
Yeah.
Shout out the live show.
Yeah, shout out the live show.
I mean, the talent, they have played at the highest level. Austin Peay has a lot of D1 transfers, like LSU, like a lot of D1 transfers.
Oh, yeah.
And Austin Peay plays a lot of D1 schools. You've got UNLV, which we just played. Hope they didn't gamble too much. I know it's kind of a big
The way Fanning set up, they ain't leave the hotel room, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No. So they play UNLV, Cincinnati, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Alabama, UT Knoxville. When you play 4 SEC teams in the non-conference, one, you have all the opportunities you have to go to these D1 baseball programs, the stadiums, just to get to see that. And 2, this team is talented. You could maybe upset 1 or 2 of them. And that's just going to help you later in the season when you get into conference play.
And do y'all have any early predictions on how this season will go, or how they're going to face these top D1 schools?
Oh, when they face these top D1 schools, like you said, 4 SEC teams. You got, Mississippi State, you got Ole Miss, you got Alabama, and you got UT Knoxville. Now, and Cincinnati. I forgot to mention Cincinnati. Cincinnati is not an SEC team, but they're also a big baseball school, along with football. But when you talk about the only team I can see them truly beating, that I believe that they can truly beat, is Cincinnati. Now, when you go back and look at Tennessee, obviously they lost Tony Vitello last year. They won a national championship in 2024, runner-up 2025, losing to Vanderbilt. But when you talk about baseball, man, it's a lot of good things. Like you said, Caleb Appleby, first career start on the mound as a starter, because he's usually a relief pitcher, but his first start on the mound, 6 strikeouts of work. What I think the baseball team could use, same as softball, instead of starting pitchers, relief pitchers. A lot of relief pitchers this weekend, struggled. Elijah Underhill, I think Cody Arrington had a rough day, even though he's coming off an injury. But a lot of pitching problems for the team. But I think they can get it together.
So we kind of talked about this in media day as we roll some of the highlights. I guess the question would be, Will, what do you think it's going to take for? I don't mean to take your hosting job, Sarah.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But what would you say, Will, would be Austin Peay has won the ASUN regular season. What's it going to take to win the tournament and to get an NCAA tournament berth? Because that's the goal for this Austin Peay
That is the
squad.
goal, because they've been knocking on the door for the last 2-3 years. So, for them, like I said, pitching problems, obviously last year in that double elimination facing Florida Gulf Coast. Jacob Weaver had a rough day and, things of that nature. But like I said earlier, they have to fix the relief problems. As you see some of the highlights here.
Broadcasted on the Wii Sports Network.
The Wii Sports Network, man. And you see Teleprompter having the game-winning RBI single base hit to drive in Paris Pridgeon. And, you love to see that, man. You love to see the grit in this team with Coach Fanning at the helm. But, yeah, like I said, their pitching problems can always use some work. Elijah Underhill, I think in Game 2 when they faced on Game 1 Saturday, I think he let up 5 or 6 runs. And, you can't allow that to happen, And, a lot of the starting pitching for us, Chance Cox, Caleb Appleby, had 7 strikeouts on the mound. DJ Merriweather had a good day when they lost on Friday. So, like I said, as long as they can fix the relief pitching problems, I feel like they'll be good to be knocking on that door and eventually get through the door as they advance through the ASUN tournament and stuff like
I
that.
think we need Rudy to work for that network and give him a new scoreboard. Right? I think Rudy. Shout
you
out
go. We
Rudy
can
on
get
the
him a
graphics,
new-
by
Yeah,
the way.
shout out Rudy on the graphics, man.
Now, with all that said, let's check in with our tennis teams for a couple of updates. The men's team just claimed a win over Southern Indiana this week, continuing spring momentum as they prepare for ASUN matches. The women's team faced Vanderbilt. They had some mixed results in the early spring matches, but they're extending their competitive streak, just getting started into their season. So not very much updates. Do y'all have anything?
I mean, just the thing with Austin Peay, like, we give a lot of coverage to football, basketball, baseball. I mean, tennis, golf, beach volleyball, like, they are good teams too. They are very quality teams, and in lacrosse, shout out lacrosse.
Absolutely.
Shout out lacrosse,
Best
man.
winning percentage in Austin Peay history. They're 1-0. You can't get any better than that. Shout out Coach Roush for the lacrosse team. Just a historic day a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, Will, it's just a great time to be a Gov.
It is a great time to be a Gov. Like I said, we give a lot of coverage to these sports, man. Basketball, football, women's basketball, baseball, softball. But yeah, like you said, women's and men's tennis, women's and men's golf. It's just, a lot of great things coming from the outside sports. People don't really cover those sports anyway unless you're a fan of those sports. But yeah, like you said, great time to be a Gov, man. And it's a great time to be a Gov.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of talking about golf, women's was tied for 11th place as they traveled to Woodland Country Club for their Texas Golf Throwdown this past couple of days. And then men's golf, Patton Samuels won the ASUN Golfer of the Week last week after a performance in Puerto Rico. And then he scored an eagle along with 5 birdies in the final round and tied 7th for the overall tournament. So we've got some big stuff happening with golf as well.
All right, then,
We
golf.
got a
Checking in,
Crunchtime
yeah.
remote with the golf team. Imagine us pulling up to Puerto Rico.
Puerto
doing
Rico,
Crunchtime.
man.
Honestly,
That's what I'm
fly
talking
us
about.
there
That's what I'm
for
talking
Crunchtime.
about. That's what I'm
If y'all
talking
wanna
about.
get
Yeah,
the
Also, one of the-
if you
one of
want
the-
whole team.
If you
One of
want to
the-
take us to Puerto Rico, man, I'd take that wholeheartedly, man.
Yeah.
I don't even play golf, and I'll probably take a couple of swings at it. You know what I'm saying?
Crunchtime live remote from Puerto Rico. Yeah. Two, the Gov logo for golf, one of the best logos the university has. The swinging Gov. Just look it up. Incredible. Side note there.
Side note
Yeah, it
there.
is cute,
Yeah.
and I do like golf. It's a chill sport, and it's good to like sit and watch. My little sister plays golf. I love just running around,
okay.
watch her play,
Yeah.
and drive down the next little course. It's a good sport.
And then more accolades for Austin Peay players. Mentioned Jemiah Branton, Freshman of the Week in women's basketball. Colin Parker, Player of the Week. Zyree, Freshman of the Week. Patton Samuels, ASUN Golfer of the Week. Again, Austin Peay is not just football and basketball. They're baseball, they're softball, lacrosse, golf. You name it. Austin Peay has it.
Yeah, that's true. And when you talk about Austin Peay, man, Puerto Rico, golf. Puerto Rico and golf, man. I mean, now if we did, crunch time in Puerto Rico, I'd show up a little late, honestly. But, would you say five eagles and 5 birdies, I think?
5 birdies.
5 birdies.
Yep.
See,
I can't do that in putt-putt,
I
y'all.
can't. Yeah, I can't. Like I need to work on my swing, man. Maybe I need to go to Top Golf and just swing for about an hour and a half. But
Yeah.
when you talk about that, man, great time to be a Gov. A lot of good sports, on the outside looking in. But yeah.
And kind of adding on to that, we've got a few updates for the track and field. Govs posted strong results in the Eastern indoors with 10 event wins and 29 top 5 finishes.
Wow.
29 is crazy. And
That is crazy.
proud of you guys. That's
Yeah,
great.
kudos to track
And
and
they're
Kudos
getting
to track and
ready
field.
for their Music City Challenge, so that's coming up. So they've got a lot to prep for. With all that said, we've got some matches to look forward to this week. We've got baseball opening up at home, Eastern
Raymond
Michigan.
Hand Park. I want to see y'all there, man. I'm gonna be in attendance.
Yep, and then we've got women's
Don't scare them away,
lacrosse.
but no, I'm kidding. I'm playing.
No,
I'm
come.
playing.
I'll be nice.
Come
I'll
on,
talk.
man. You can't be doing that, man.
I'm playing.
Man, be there. Eastern Michigan
Yes,
pulls up to
be
the
there.
Govs, man. 3-game series. Y'all be there. I'm gonna be there. So you know what I'm saying.
And then we've got women's lacrosse, their first road trip of the season to South Carolina to face Furman and Presbyterian. That's coming up soon. And then we've got women's basketball. They face Bellarmine. Did I say
You
that
got
right?
it right. Yeah.
Bellarmine. Got it right.
Bellarmine.
At
Said it wrong.
F&M Bank.
Bellarmine.
Bellarmine.
Bellarmine, sorry. F&M Bank Arena on Saturday. We've got men's basketball in Florida, and then we've got softball heading to Texas. That's pretty much all we have for today. Thank you guys for joining us on Crunch Time. It'll be another busy week for APSU. As always, follow our socials.
Yes, do it. Follow.
We've got
them.
Instagram here,
follow.
Twitter
Yep,
there.
there we go.
Subscribe if you want to. We'll be back here next week to break down all the highlights. As always, go Govs.
Let's go, P.
Let's go P, man.